And how close are you, Hutch, to real money?
I think I ended the day at +8.
So what are we looking for then?
Like 22?
More?
No, 32. 32.
32 more. Wow. Hmm.
I don't have I don't have Thinkorswim open right now.
Okay. Um, can we go ahead?
Yeah, yeah. You're live.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So let's get started. This thing was this is Walmart. This what? What is this? No, this is not Walmart. Walmart. This thing was an amazing trade today. I don't know if many people took it or not. I was just in this trade from here to here. I think this is what's pretty much it. Yeah, from here to about here. This is it. I didn't catch this thing, uh, but this was some serious trade here. Walmart went today. Well, I wish I could have caught this, but yeah, it is where it is. Can't catch them all. Uh, People, and this was another one that I was a part of this trade for a little bit, and then I think it got me out around here somewhere, and then it started to go again. Small wins here and there, but the big win came from uh, this trade was a big winner today. Spy to the downside. So we knew we were playing the downside all the way till SPX right here. So we knew this was the big trade all the way till the mean, right? So we knew this, and it pierced through this. We rode it all the way through here, and TSL hit whatnot. We got out. We played a little bit to the upside, but then did not participate right here till here. I was not a part of this trade, but then what I was part of is when this thing started VIX. So when VIX started to hit this and started to come back down, and the moment VIX started to come back down below its 21 here, as expected, VIX hit the mean, and I was when it was pushing through, I was expecting to hit this number. Obviously, it did not hit that. It started to come back down. This was the expectation. Did not do it. It started to come back down. I was not a party here. I was not a party here. I was not a party here. But when it broke below its 21, I became a party to this trade to the downside on VIX, or rather to the upside on SPX. And we went down all the way till here. I got out. It hit here, I think about this number somewhere around here, and started to bounce. So I exited that trade. Didn't wait to find out what's happening here below there. So this was a very, very, very decent trade. Either you could have shorted UVXY or went long SPX. So this was a great day today, overall to the upside and to the downside. So it was, in essence, what you saw is VIX hitting its mean on the daily and coming back down, and on the other hand, VIX hitting its mean, give or take a little bit here and there, but VIX hitting its mean, coming right back up. So this was a pretty much given. It will hit and come back up because we know when what happens when it hits a major moving average, and that's what exactly is happening here. And where is that? The thing today, so we knew this was pretty classic. Came back down, went up, and pushed up all the way through here. And the moment it cleared its 200, it became apparent that the rally is coming up, and I think it went all the way till here, 45. This number, I think the eight. It hit the eight to a T, and came right back down. So this is pretty normal. This is pretty consistent with what we know about price, how it moves. Wasn't expecting it all the way through the 8, but I was expecting a push up into 20 at least. So 44.90 was pretty much given. So this is where that TSL hit to the upside, and I was expecting it to probably hit this spot and come right back down. It went all the way till here, and then I think it stopped somewhere here. So now the thing is that it is still within the zone, right? And it has stopped below its mean here on the weekly. So for tomorrow, this is what I'm expecting: a push up into the weekly mean, which is sitting at 45.19, right? So it will hit that tomorrow. It's showing in the background. Right. So we are expecting a hit of this. This needs to be in the foreground. There. So still not. Okay. So this is where I'm expecting it to go up tomorrow to hit this mean, and a test of mean. If it fails here, we'll look for a push down again. If it clears this mean, we'll start looking for an upside. Right. So that doesn't mean that the bull market has resumed. That simply means it's a bounce, and most likely we'll go back and first test this mean around here, 45.20, and again this will be a crucial test. If that clears, we are looking for a push into 45.35, but let's reassess the situation here, 45.18 to 45.20 range. If it clears here, then we're looking for a push into this number, 45.35. uh, I think this should mark as some sort of a top tomorrow. But again, a lot depends on Apple. A lot depends on Apple, and Apple seems like it is still in a good shape by and large, and their business hasn't affected as much. So is Microsoft's business as well. So looking good, pretty much looking decent here, and not like their dire straits or anything. And market looks like it is shrugging a lot of not market. I shouldn't be saying market, but the U.S. consumer. U.S. consumer is shrugging off a lot of all of that. Seems like U.S. consumer is in a good shape. That I think that is still driving the market. So I posted a report yesterday, not a report, but a tweet from someone. I think they were highlighting a report from BSC that consumer spending is still up, right? So that part is still intact. American consumer is still well and alive, and as so it happens that American consumer, dug a whole lot of people out of that last downturn, and I think that same thing will continue. Uh, and SPX looks good here. So tomorrow, the base case to the upside is this again: 45.20, 45.21. A clearance, a clear when it clears here, and you're looking for 45.35 to the upside. Then we'll reassess the situation, and to the downside, we are looking for 45. Where is it? About Yeah, well, this is 45, 44.90 should be the base case, but Let's not keep that as a base case. Let's keep this as a base case, 44.79. So in essence, this is the line that we're watching for tomorrow. If it breaks below its 200 again, we're looking for a push down, 44.78. If that breaks, we are looking for a push into the mean again. And this time, if the mean breaks, we are looking to push into it's 50, 44.21. This will happen tomorrow if the mean breaks. So let's see how it plays out tomorrow. I don't know what are the futures doing right now. Let's see what are the futures up to. The futures, well, it's bouncing around. Not much there. Yeah, not much. Can we predict the futures? Well, again, the same thing. We'll see if it can come back down. It hit the third standard deviation, coming back down. Same story. It has come back to its five, come back to its eight. If eight breaks, it come back to its 21. 44.85 should bounce around it here. So about 10 points to the downside. When that breaks, then the mean is 44.81. Uh, so most likely it will try to bounce here because you have combination of moving averages, 44.92, and if that breaks, doesn't look like it will break there for now. Uh, Technicals are not telling me it's going to break there for now, but if it breaks here, then we are pushing here. This will be another good bounce spot simply because you have combination of moving averages supporting that spot, 44.85. Let's wait on that. So we will reassess the situation in the morning. One thing that is X. This thing has resumed lower, and obviously it came back down to here. It's 200 on the weekly, I think. This should be the 200 on the weekly, if I'm not mistaken. And let's right here. And somewhere around here, it tested this number 2143 something right here, and it bounced off of this number. Let's see if we can find that number. Okay, 2115. Oh, you could make a case that this was pretty much a given bounce because you had the combination of 200 and super trend and 50. So you could make a case that this bounce was pretty much valid, and I think this bounce will continue a little bit further, at least into. I think we were looking for. Oh, I think we got here, right? Here. Okay, this was the bounce, and this was the bounce. 2160, 2170, right? So this was the bounce we were looking for. And that bounce failed. It came right back down. I think it still has some bounce left in it. Again, not a lot, but it does have some bounce left in it. 2190, and but this thing is still pointing down. If a push comes, I think it should test its five or even eight is not out of the question. 2217, but most likely if it happens, this will happen pre-market. I don't think we will notice this. But then if it pushes above its mean, which is 2254, that's when I'll take notice of VIX again. So what I'm talking about is this move higher. Hitting its moving average and pushing up to the mean a little bit higher, coming right back down and going back into the mean again, pushing back down. So let's see how that plays out. Again, I'll keep an eye on this thing throughout the day. I will remind or the voice if anything changes here. Okay, and what else are we looking for? And I wanted to trade this thing super bad. Which one was this? Walgreens. This was a very, very, very good trade. Should have taken this. I should have known better, but I didn't. Did it show me this here? Okay, now it's showing the right one. So, this is a very recognizable scenario. Comes right out of the third standard deviation, goes back into five, creates a doji, goes right back into the eight. Market holds, it will go here, 45.96. So this one would have been a clear trade for the small account, but missed out on this. This one still has the potential to push into 45.96. This one still has potential. And the other one was, I think Boeing was another one which is sitting right there to be taken. Did I trade it? No, I did not. This one. This is other one that we were looking for. I think we knew what was the range this would play it. So to the downside, this was the goal for it to hit. It did hit, and then pushed up right into its standard deviation. Not yet, but it should. It should push into 317. Will that happen tomorrow? Most likely, it should happen. Back down. So I think most likely it will push into this, and it will go back and hit its mean. This is more likely the scenario. 316 something around this number, 31640 something here. And if the market push, and I think I don't know what this is pricing in. Uh, Even though the 10-year is pushing higher, I don't know what banks are pricing in. Why are they pricing in? What is the downside they're pricing? I don't know. Bad earnings? I don't know. I don't think so because U.S. consumer is still alive, well and alive. So the consumer spending is happening. Business spending is happening. We know that from the PPI and the manufacturing index. That is looking good. And the demand side of oil, that is looking good. So I don't know what the banks are pricing in. Why are the banks down? I have no idea here. Maybe just you can argue that this is just technical that are playing out. If that is the case, then good for us. Then this is a healthy pullback. You can argue. But besides that, if there is any other thing that we don't know of, then we are pretty much looking at a recession. Uh, According to how the financials are behaving. Call it yield curve inversion, whatever you want to call it. But if this is just based on technicals, that's a separate story. But besides technicals, if the banks are pricing or if the financial sector is pricing the way it is pricing, then this is pretty much modeling in a recession. That's what it is doing. And you can put uh, so where's that watch list? Look at this number, right? 2.66. So this is a steady climb, and the financial sector should have been following this number. So if you look at XLF, financial sector should have been looking like this, and it is not. So there is some disconnect here. There is some disconnect here. This needs to be figured out. Uh, this needs to be figured out. So we will figure this out. It's not that complicated, but we just don't, uh, you know, I'm just going by what the technicals are saying. I don't really have a bigger data set, but if I did, then this would come in a pretty decent. There should be pretty decent reasoning for why is it doing what it is doing. Pushing here down, I think there's still room to the downside. Most likely 36.89 if it hadn't touched it already. 36.98, maybe a little bit further. but then this should mark absolute bottom, 35 cent 93 for banks. Uh, but if earnings came in terrible, which I don't think bank earnings are going to be, bad, and this thing is pretty much around this number, not too shabby. Uh, but if bank earnings really come in bad, or if the guidance comes in really terrible, then yeah, 32.96. This will break it this time. I don't think it's going to stand it here. I think it will break that and push into its 200. It hasn't touched its 100 in a long time. Right? It hasn't touched its 100. So we will see how this plays out. Uh, one more time, let's go over this here and let's zoom out a little bit. 200, 100, 200. Okay, it's below its 200. On the daily, it's below its 200. So earning season, I believe, is starting next week, and I don't know what to make of this thing. 8th March rallied, came right back down. So its two standard deviation is sitting at 36.73. I think it should come back and test that number. Most likely, with the next, maybe, this has turned here and this is coming back down. So maybe tomorrow, who knows? Tomorrow, one last push here into this number 36.68, then we should curl back up. So tomorrow, one last push into the mean, I think. Yeah, tomorrow on the SPX side of things, maybe one last push to the downside, should some hit somewhere around here, and then should start to curl back up. So I think all the technicals are there for it to curl back up. Let's see how this plays out. Cool thing. Next is one last data point. US 10-year. I think we were discussing about this in during the morning, and this is what I was looking for a hit into, and it most likely hit that spot, almost there. It didn't quite hit it. So tomorrow, I think I'm still expecting a hit of this 2.67, and then a push back down. Most likely into, I don't know. I'm not expecting it to go back down 2.29. But if it does go back to 2.29, yeah, markets will get spooked. So don't want that to happen. Even if it happens, it has to be a gradual, slow move down. If it moves down violently to these numbers, it will cause chaos. So don't want that to happen. Yeah, 256, maybe 251, and punch higher. Cool. And these these well, this was another good trade today. Boeing. Boeing was a decent trade today, and I still think Boeing has some room to the upside. Push into 178, most likely 178.75, and then here we will reassess the situation. Boeing, I think, still has room to the upside into 181. But will I play this? No, I'm not looking to play this as of now. I will be looking for Boeing to clear this number here, 21 on the hourly. After that, I might get involved in this. There's some stock that is coming up in SSTY. Don't know if this is the thing. SST one. This thing is coming up in scans. I don't know what it is. What's happening here? 425%. Whoa, that is something. But I don't know why. Did they win a lawsuit or something? I don't know what they are into. Financial conglomerate system one. I haven't heard of this thing, but this thing has been coming up on scans because of volume here. That's the reason it's coming up on scans. But why is it? I don't know. There's something here. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like once this thing starts to curl down, looks like a clear short to me. Uh, Again, running up. I don't know what's the story behind this thing here, but definitely, once this run is over, we could look to short the heck out of this thing. Ran up here. 5th April, came back down. Why? I don't know why. After earnings, it ran up 36, came back down to 17, 18, and running up again. The technicals are still trying to push it down. So, yeah, uh, I think this is still a shortable. This is still shortable, and DWAC. We were looking to short this thing. I couldn't get involved in this short, but this was a clear short. Uh, and I think there is still room to the downside on this one. There is still room to the downside for a DWAC. And let's get back to the movers, the big ones. Apple. I think Apple still has room to the upside. But then, I want to see a clear move of the mean. And this is what I want to see here. 168. Apple should test 168 here, 168.30, whatever this number is, and then push up from here. So that hasn't happened yet. Apple is bouncing off of these numbers, 171, and this number here, it's 21. So Apple is bouncing off of these numbers, and I still think Apple should come back down. Clearly, Apple ran mostly into this number here today, 173, whatever this number is, and coming back down. The technicals are still pointing to the downside, and I still think Apple should come back down to a level here and bounce off of this level. If not, if it doesn't do that, then it will leave itself for a major pullback again. It has to come back to its 20, the mean, and test this mean and push up. If it doesn't do it now, then it is leaving itself vulnerable to a pullback at some point. I don't know when will that happen, but this will still remain a possibility here. A pullback into 168 if we don't really get that tomorrow. But is there a case for that besides technicals? No, there's no case for Apple to come back down into 168 and test that besides technicals. Why? Again, the American consumer is well and alive. Credit card spending is there. I think today we got a report that about there was a report today that was circulating about this, and yesterday there was a report from Bank of America. Today, I think there was a report from I don't know which agency, what agency was that, but there was a report. It has to come back down. Well, let's see. Let's see. Don't wanna create a bias on anything. But for technical, this is what needs to happen. For tomorrow, I think again the push if to the upside 173.33. This is what I'm looking for to the upside base case. To the downside 170.52. Uh, Even not even 170.52. Why go that far? Let's stick to this number here, 171.50. This is to the downside, and this number is to the upside, 173.43, 173.46. Or it's rounded up to 173.50. So this is the range that I want to be looking for Apple. This will be clearly predictable trades within this range. If it breaks here, then this is the next stop. If it breaks to the upside, then we will figure out to the upside what happens after that. Not looking for a push into 176 just now. Not looking for a push into this number yet. If it breaks here around 173.50, and we are looking for a push into this number 174, whatever this number is, 174.50. And this should act as some sort of a top for Apple. Will it break it here? Am I looking for this? No, I'm not looking for a break above this number tomorrow. If it does, then yeah, then we can't help much there. Besides, technicals are pointing to the downside. So this situation might arise where the price is actually pushing up and the RSI average is still moving down. This situation might arise today, tomorrow, not out of the question, but still this RSI average is still pointing to the downside. So let's play this the way it is. And this one, the market mover, Microsoft. And this one again in the same boat, but this one is much better for a play to the upside. This one is much better. It is bouncing off of very good levels here. So you could try to play this tomorrow to the upside. And to the upside, this is what we're looking for, 301. So right now it is sitting about here, 301.30, somewhere around here. And to the upside, we're looking for a push into 21, 302.50. If it clears there, and we are pushing into this number here, 304.31. Expect a breather here. Definite expect a breather here. And after the breather, if it decides to push higher, if you find buyers, then a 305 should be some sort of a top here. And after that, again it will push back down. If it pushes up second time into this number 305, then we are looking for it to push up into the mean again, 309. That's what we're looking for. So one more time, this is the base case to the upside, 302.60. If it pushes up from there, then this will be acting as 304.40, will act as breather here. It's a 200 moving average. It's a major moving average on the daily. So breather here, but if it clears there, then a clear shot at 305.50. If 305.50, this will act as some sort of a good resistance, and it has to come back down, test at 200 again. And if it pushes up from 200, then if it then it will most likely 80% chances it will clear this 8.5, and then it will rush into its mean on the weekly. This is my upside prediction. And again, the downside is still the mean. If it pushes below its 21, then we are still looking at the mean here, 300. And the sooner Apple does this kind of move, right? So this is again the thesis here holds true one more time. Price enters this inner Bollinger Band zone, moves down to test the mean, moves down to test the lower Bollinger Band. So this is a predictable move to the downside. And if somebody played it, we got that one. And the same thing needs to happen for Apple as well. The same exact thing needs to happen for Apple as well, but did not. So the sooner that happens, the better it is. If not, it is leaving itself vulnerable for a pullback into the mean. Uh, any other stock you guys are watching? So far, okay. Weekly 709. So far, dumped today. So I would stay away from financials for now. I would definitely stay away from financials now. For now, simply because XLF is pointing down, and there's something that is happening with financials which I am unaware of. Even though given the credit card spending is up, something like you would expect something like a Visa, something like an AXP, what's a Mastercard to push up. Not We are not seeing that, so that's the reason I would not want to get involved in SoFi to either up or the downside direction. For a scalp, perhaps it's fine, but as a trade, as a day trade, I would not. Looks like still has a room to the downside till 743 or something. But if it does decide to push up, 858, and most likely it should push into 891. Don't see it go beyond this number as of where things stand so far. Yeah, Tilray. There's some news around this thing. What happened? I don't know. There was some news around all of this cannabis thing. Wow, this is a healthy margin. Uh, EPS came below above expectation, but revenue did not. Okay. Any stocks? I don't know if I want to be commenting about these, but these tend to have a mind of their own. Somebody somewhere says something, and people start to buy this small ticket items. Yeah, per technicals, I still think there's a downside. 626 and a push below into 613. And if even after earnings, it couldn't do much. So I'm still expecting this to come back down and test this number. Most likely an ephemeral bounce somewhere around here. And again, it has to come back down into this number, 543, somewhere around here. Unless that law, whatever that they're talking about, that get passed, or some chatter starts to come out of that Senate meeting or whatnot, then it might take off. But otherwise, technicals are pointing to the downside. This, then this. This is the path forward. What is ACB? Nah, nah. Again, no. Nope. Same boat. Both are in the same boat. Back down to this number, goes back to hits this number. So this is still intact. Unless again that whole Senate hearing or Senate meeting, whatever is happening for a vote on the Senate floor, if that happens, most likely that will get cleared. I don't know when is the vote, but if it does, then these things will fly. So until that thing happens, not even worth a look. Not even worth a look. Walmart. Walmart is Walmart. Yeah, Walmart is Walmart. Cannot. I think Walmart did, everything that we wanted and more. A couple of days back, I think on Monday, I was playing this to the upside, 153 watt something, and I got out and it started pushing up. What's the upside? Let's see on the monthly. This is exhausted. Both of these indicators are exhausted. Daily for Walmart, and a little bit more room to the upside, 158.20. Uh, this is domestic story. Walmart, Costco, Target. This is domestic story, and these are pushing because of inflation. These are pushing because of inflation, and this break here will come back down and again test the 8 and bounce again, test the 8 and bounce again. But at some point in time, I was expecting it to actually come down further into its mean. Did not happen, but at some point in time it has to come back, test its mean. It has to come back and test its mean. It is not happening as of now, which is okay. That this is still pointing to the upside. This is still pointing to the upside, so not worth shorting. Going long with a tight stop loss is still advised. 158.10, maybe we could look for a downside from there to 154, but not pricing anything downside right now. And I'm pretty sure Target did the same thing. 5% on the day. So, yep. And for short, I would much rather short Target than Walmart. 227, 228. Wow, it has room till 233. It has room till 233 here. 231, then 233 here, then that clears. 236 here, 237. So yeah, looks healthy. And if you want to trade target here, maybe wait for a pullback. 226 or even 225 is much better entry. If you can get this entry, this still has room to the upside. 225. Yeah, and I think Costco did the same thing today. All-time highs pushed to this third standard deviation. Uh, and again, waiting for something like this to happen on Costco again. Bounce to a T here, but then it has to come back down. When it's going to happen, can't say for sure. This is domestic story. Costco, Target, Walmart, Kroger. I think there are still a few that if you can find, you can trade those. That's a domestic story. That the domestic story is intact. The domestic story is intact. Nothing has changed on the domestic side. Beside yield curve has inverted, but besides that, nothing has changed. Consumer is still hot. So good short, yeah, you can get 606. That break of that 604. This will be a slow grind down if you are looking to short it or get puts on it. It will be a slow grind down. Will it break here and push into? This is ideally this is how it should work. It's got overbought, come right back down to 5, should bounce a little bit, break below, should test 8, bounce a little bit, and should come back down to its mean. This is how it should work. But given that these are breaking out of all-time highs, will that happen? Debatable. What is this? Right here, if you want to take an entry to the short side, this is what you want to see. A test of mean here and break below the mean, 605. And if that breaks, Then we will look for a full-fledged short entry, probably to 600. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Most likely, I think pre-market is going to hit this number, and even I think 605 will get hit and it will bounce. By the time market opens, I think it will give us entries to the upside, long side. Hopefully, this comes down pre-market 604. Then we will look for entries to the upside. Should be a good one. McDonald has been pushing. This is all domestic, right? This is all domestic here. This is all domestic stuff. So that's the reason you see that these are running. No issues anywhere here. Banks are pricing in something that we don't know. Triple M has some issue. It has structural issues with the company itself. So there's some lawsuit. So that is the reason this is not pushing. Honeywell, I don't know what is happening here. The Build Back Better. They need to trump. They need to trumpet about that thing a little bit better for this thing to move. Otherwise, it will. This is no good. Disney, this has to move. This has to move. I don't know when are the earnings. Disney will run up into earnings. They are. They have cash. They have cash on the balance sheet. But the reports that are coming out of Disney is that I think the ex CEO and current CEO, the ex CEO who is also sitting on their chair on the board is I think is at loggerheads with their current CEO. So I don't know how that gonna play out, but this thing will run up into earnings for sure. Earnings are when May, whatever this number. So this will run up into the earnings. That I know. Even if it can come down to here or whatever number it is, this thing will run up into the earnings. And next, what is the chat saying? Darth is anti-weed. What? No, I'm not. Is this Flappy? Yeah, most likely he is. Walmart wanted to flag Hood. Yeah, Hood. Yeah, let's chart Hood. Wrong. The vote will not go through in Senate. I don't know. I think there's enough. There's enough votes for them to, this time pass it through, ram it through rather. Altria, Altria is okay to trade. Strain or stock, great dividend. True. That's why you love it. Buffett, CVX. Let's look at Hood. Then we'll go into CVX. Bear in the streets, Buffett in the what the fuck? Good one, Al. McDonald's. Look for that. Keeping up with Kardashians coming to Disney. Wow, is it really? Right? Uh, Is that a real news? If it is, then and the other in other piece of news around Disney, not Disney, Disney. Yeah, I think Disney. I think made an offer to buy UFC. Is that true? I think it did. I think there's some news around that. I saw
Yeah,
that
that
news.
was on Bloomberg the other day that they're trying to buy UFC.
There you go. So bullish on Disney. I am bullish on Disney. My girlfriend made sure to tell me to keep my Disney Plus account. Wow, you guys are whipped. Did it. Nice. It's a pronoun cage fight. Darth loves the conditions. What the fuck? You guys are whipped. Uh, this was a great short. This was a great short. And this is a good company, by the way. Hood is a good company, even though they are screwing up on their earnings. But this is a cash cow. Hood is a cash cow, and you can find a Hood. I think around 1060 or something like that. Go for it. This is a cash cow. Don't wanna chart this. Don't wanna trade this at the moment. Clearly in a downtrend, and technicals are starting to bottom out. Maybe there's a little bit more to the downside. Not a little bit. There's quite a bit to the downside actually. 1070, so a good 20 points, 20% to the downside. 15 to 20% to the downside if you are looking to short it a little bit out, a little bit higher time frame. Yeah, this will work out. For now, if the market bounces, we're looking for it to bounce into 1253 and most likely into 1273 and 1291. I would much rather say, trade something like uh, maybe BSC or MS, some stable companies rather than trading these ones. That would be my suggestion. And it would not be, you could have played Goldman Sachs today, for that matter. That is also small account friendly. Most likely from tomorrow, I will, have that one, at least one trade for $25. Try to, I have that account up now. So I think tomorrow I'll make a real time or real money trade into that account. What was the other one? CVX. Ooh, this needs to be shorted. This needs to be shorted. Look at this thing, right? So this needs to be shorted, and it will be a great short. See that? And this is not doing that. It has to do that at some point. It will do that. So this will be a good short. Now, what is happening? VX and this. So this usually follows this, and it has to follow this. Right now, it is not, but oil is coming down. So this is pricing in, I think, a little farther out, and this is coming down. This oil will come back down to this number at least, 93 something, and they'll break that and push down here into this number, 90.50. This needs to happen for oil. Am I shorting it? No, but it would be a, if you did it, you know, oil short below, even below its 50, yeah, this would have worked out. And I think there's still room to the downside. This is most likely a technical bounce happening here. But then I think oil should test this number, probably push below to this number, 90.40, somewhere around here. And this needs to come back down. There is no technical right now telling me that it is coming down, but that is the case. It should come back down. I don't know why it pushed up today. Was it a technical push up? Maybe technical push up, but I'm looking, if I were to play oil, I will look to short oil. If I were to play oil, I were to play oil, I'll be looking to short this thing right here. Maybe a little push, 173 whatnot here, 160, 167 something, 167.60 or whatnot. Then I'll look to push it down 166.50 and then probably into 166.12. The mean is sitting somewhere around here, 165.36. I will be looking to short it if I can find a good entry. Not willy-nilly, but I need to find a good entry for this. What would be a good entry? Not the price here itself, not this price. My good entry would be Apple chart, oil chart to the downside, then VIX to the upside. That would be my combination to short this thing. Otherwise, I will stay out of CVX's business altogether. But this needs to come back down to test its mean at least. What was the other one? PayPal? Let's look for PayPal. Oh damn, it is stuck. It is still sitting here. Taking a while. They're pushed up, and this thing is staying here. PayPal is a branch of Square, is it not? Am I missing something there? PayPal is it not a branch of Square? Can somebody confirm that? Not a branch, but PayPal is an arm of or uh, PayPal reports into Square, right?
I don't know. PayPal's been around a lot longer than Square.
But sure they bought it. There's some connection that says I think PayPal is a part of Square. There's something there. I don't know. I have to look it up. I don't have my phone here. Where's my phone?
Well, I'm
Kid
looking it
took
up
it from me.
now.
If you open up the PayPal app itself, it should tell you that they are part of some company. I saw that, but I'll confirm that a little later if I can find my phone. Right now, I don't have it. There is some connection here. They're just not. I just don't know what is it.
It says it's still owned by eBay.
They're still owned by eBay. Okay.
Mm.
Venmo is owned by
Oh, and
PayPal.
this says
Okay.
it's no longer. Yeah, hold on. That's not right either.
Cash App is owned by Square. There. Thank you, Al. Man, fuck this guy is always with information. No,
What
that
is
is correct. That is correct. Venmo is owned by PayPal. I know. Cash App owned by Square. Nice. So these are competitors, and so this thing is pushing up. This thing is not. Why? I don't know. Everything looks good here, and even there is something. I think uh, they are heavy into crypto. What not? There is something that is holding them back. I just don't know what. But in due time, I think that will also come out. On the daily, both of them look the same, but on the weekly, it's different. 122, it actually hit 122 and it came right back inside. So this is what happens, when I say, I'm looking for a pullback into mean. If it doesn't really get here, this happens, then they leave themselves susceptible to this pullback into the mean. This is very common here. They push up for no good reason and they'll have to come back to the mean. And Apple is doing the same thing right now, trying to push back up without even checking with it mean. So uh, again, that's the thing that I'm looking for Apple, and Apple has repercussions on the broader market. So that's why it is important to follow that stock. Otherwise, this thing came right back here. Should have pushed up, and it is 110. Yeah, it hit 110 and pushed up from here. ran up into its mean again, and if the market pushes up tomorrow, you can look for it to push into 114.21. That the base case to the upside. That clears, then this is where it should find. There's a lot of resistance around this area, 115.70 area. But then if that clears, then we're looking into 119 again. And if this clears, then I think there is upside. There is a lot of resistance here. If it clears this resistance, yeah, there's a lot of upside on this one, probably till 124. And if it breaks below here, 110, a test of 110 and break below there, go back down to second standard deviation. That's how it should work. Square, 125. I think Square still has room to the downside. Markets bounce today at the mean as they should, and that's why I think Apple escaped the push down. But if and when Apple comes back down to its mean, then the Square will push down to probably here 117. It will break it that time and probably push into 114. This will need to happen for Square. And to the upside, most likely this is the story to the upside. The mean 128.99 something here. If that clears, it will go hit this number, 130 to 134, 133 to 134. This is the number it will go and hit. A lot of resistance around this area. Most likely it will get pushed down from there. A lot of tomorrow's price action will be Apple dependent. If Apple decides to push up, which it is threatening to push up, then markets will continue the rally. If not, the rally probably tomorrow one more push to the downside, and usually, uh, April is a very good month for stocks. After March, April is generally a very good month for stocks. So keep a lookout for that. CVX short was my thoughts too. Awesome. Any other ones that gonna be you want me to look at? Did I look at everything everybody asked me to? MACD, I did not go through that. We'll go through that right away. And the MACD is a domestic story, so this story is intact. And then what was the other one? This is the one that you want to be comparing this to, and then you want to do this. A couple of days back, I was talking about Domino's to someone. I forgot who I was talking to, but yeah. And this is what you want to see. And another competitor, Dunkin Donuts. What is the ticker? Anybody know for Dunkin Donuts? Even if it trades, not. I don't think it trades. DK? No, I don't know. Don't know if there's a ticker for Dunkin' or I don't know if it trades. DK, NKA, DNK, and nope, it's not. Hmm. I don't think it trades publicly. DNKN. Why is it not showing up? On my screen, DNKN comes up as delisted. So that's not there. So maybe one another competitor, but this is best of the breed. And other ones. So if you see, okay, if you see this thing pushing up, nothing, then Wendy's will also come up, started push up. 2049 is where Wendy's should bounce. It bounced here around 225 or whatnot, and this has been an uptrend, and this will most likely push into 256 tomorrow, 256.60, and a clear push up, and this will go into 263. And Wendy's should generally follow this thing, but it's not following. But otherwise, this is a cohort that moves according with. There's another one which is Constellation Brands, I guess. Constellation Brands, yeah. This is another one. Constellation Brands is pushing up. Constellation Brand. This is which one is this? USR owned Dunkin. I'm not sure. Not sure. Kristen Cream. Why are you creaming Christian? What's going on, Ron? Uh, what am I talking about? All right. Crips, Crips Pie. Nice. Nice. Ron, I think I don't know how much you got to drink, but keep that glass down. Oh. All right, Constellation Brand. I think this. I don't know what all fall under this, but this is one of the. I don't know what the portfolio they hold, but if you want to go through it, you can go through it here. Of this, and the other one is. It's, it can do four. It can do five. It can't. Okay. So Domino's Pizza looks ripe for a push up. So let's look at DPZ Manhattan's. There you go. Yum. DPZ looking primed. I think I was talking to someone a couple of days back about this move to the upside. I forgot who I was talking to, but yeah. So this thing is pushing up, and this has a clear shot at 401. So another one. Then you have Yum Brands. This is Taco Bell and whatnot. So this thing is still looking good, and inflation will push all of these to the upside. It clears here 120.40, then we're looking up 121.03. 121.03 is pretty much given right now. If it clears here, it should hit this, and all the indicators are telling you that it's going to push to the upside. 121, if it clears there, a clean shot at 122.60 for Yum Brands. And Papa John's is another one. CMG. This is best of the breed. CMG is the one that that is. This is Chipotle. So if I were to own one of the stocks for a longer term, I would be holding CMG. Why? Because these guys have a lot of pricing power. They could, increase their price by 50 cents. Nobody would, say anything about it. So yeah, these guys have a lot of pricing power, and I think tomorrow it will push down into 15.08. Uh, it did run up. Wow, wow, clean shot. Wow. Should have traded this thing, man. Should have traded this thing. Anyways, yeah, so 1540, if it bounces, if it clears this number here, then we are looking for a clean shot into 1549. To the upside, this is the base case, 1549 to 1554. This is a very clean shot, and if it touches that and gets pushed down, then we will come back down to 1540. If it breaks down from 1540 further, then this will be tested again. 1519 will be tested again. So I'll look to play this, and this is I think there should be one more down day, one more down push for this one. 1541, and maybe I don't know if we can find a good bounce spot for this one. Constellation brands pushed today, but let's see which one was that. CMG. Let's put CMG here. Right. So CMG, if it can push down 15, this is where it should bounce. 1537 to 1538 range. To the downside, if it comes down here, if it should bounce from here. Not looking at it to go below this, but if it does go below this, then we are looking for the short side again. Constellation CMG. I don't know if many people play this thing here, but yeah, look for this one. McDonald's is still in an uptrend, and DPZ. This was a clean shot. This was a clear shot. DPZ. Which one was that? Might be. So this will be another Walmart sort of a story. Look for it to come back down to test this number again. If it breaks below, then we'll go down to 249 or something. But if it pushes from here, which looks like it is pushing, then a test of 255.76, and then yeah, this should be some sort of a top here. 256.50 to 256.70 range. It should be some sort of a top here. Then if it comes back down below this number, we'll look for short. If not, we'll still look for long side for McDonald's. General Mills. Yeah, General Mills. On the north coast of Cali. Walmart is 1 hour 20 minutes from me, so okay. Actually on the edge of US. What the heck? Why are you living so far? Alright. Walmart on the east side of, I mean, on the east coast, Walmart is like about every 20 minutes. Costco, I know, is for sure for about every 20 minutes. McDonald's and Taco Bell. I don't know where you live, Jen. There's about 5 Walmart within. Yeah, I know, I know, Timo. It's yeah, close by. Yeah, UPST for tomorrow. I think a bounce here into here, but then I think UPST should come back and test this number again. 87, 80 or something like that. It has to come back to this number. Bounce to a T from here. Fuck. Today, when Walmart was coming down, I think doctor was sending me a text saying that go short Walmart. Which doctor? The dental doctor. I think she's busy with her practice, but she found somehow time to come into Walmart short or whatnot. And other doctor, Jacob, I think is preparing for his boards. So His That's why he's not around now. Everybody has my number here. Almost everybody. And even people I don't really want them to have my number, they have my number too. It's my number. I thought everybody had it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting those. I'm getting those. I'm getting those weird messages. By the way, let's stop this thing here today. If you want to stop that stream.